In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with Good Morning Portugal. Have I gone a bit Max Headroom here? Looks a bit stuttery on the screen. Let's see what happens this morning, shall we? Anyway, Munson here. Bon dia, alegria from Expats Portugal with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Started on time. I hope that didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Gilchrist, Rebel Mama's in. The Prof, of course, with some cracking looking history for us today. Paul was quite the firecracker guest yesterday, wasn't he? A history and geography teacher. Baddy's in. Great to see you yesterday, as it was Suze as well. Suze and Baddy were at the meetup yesterday, and a very good one it was too. Baldylocks in, too. T-Duck. Who else is here this morning? Let's have a look. Oh, Louise is in. Where you been, Louise? Lovely to see you here this morning. Cindy B. How you doing, Cindy? Great to see you yesterday as well. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, these Silver Coast people with their meetup going on about it every week, when can we have a meetup in our own part of town? Well, we're working on it. And Jack Polly, I'll be talking to Jack Polly about a Portimao-based meetup real soon, okay, and making that happen. So, yeah, if you want to talk to me about a meetup, the startup of a meetup in your part of Portugal, give us a shout. Carl at expatsportugal.com, and we'll see what we can do about that. This is quite disconcerting, looking at the screen and seeing myself. It's like looking in a strange mirror from a Disney movie. Yes, probably a modern Disney movie where I'm slightly out of sync. And the reflection is a few milliseconds behind the reality, which of course it is, isn't it? If we think about that philosophically for a moment, the time it takes for your eyes and brain to process what's coming back from the mirror is the past. You're looking at the past, aren't you? But we make an allowance for that, don't we, with our brilliant brains and minds. But when it goes into a few milliseconds and we're not quite used to it, it's a little disconcerting, as it is for me this morning. Let's see if that improves. It may or may not. We shall carry on regardless, which I think is a pretty good policy to have in life. How are you doing today? Move to Portugal Thursday. Martino Mary, as I'm calling her, will be talking to us about a doggy fundraiser. This is a takeaway idea, raising a bit of money for a dog shelter in San Martino de Porto. Events from all over Portugal are welcome. It's just I happen to live in San Martino de Porto, and I bump into people doing interesting things, and I promote what they do. But please don't feel excluded by that. If you have anything going on anywhere in Portugal, let me know. Even on the autonomous regions, on the islands, have a property today, actually. We've got one from Tomar. Thank you very much to the Prof for a beautiful home, a T6 near Tomar for 100,000 euros, a bargain. Two-story building with two independent entrances, each floor with 135 square meters. That could be split into two. It's near the Castelo de Bo Dam, which is always good news. And we go for our other property this morning on Move to Portugal Thursday to Madeira, which is a great tip from Marty. Marty shared this one with me, 410,000 euros. A jacuzzi with an amazing view included in that. Not so much with the Tomar property, although you could put that in for yourself. So yes, Mary joining me in the first part of the show. And in the second part of the show, let me just show you something here. You may have been brought to the program this morning because of talk of eco-villages. And look, an eco-village in the Algarve. We'll be talking to the Revive team. This is revive.casa. Revive.casa. Revive will be an eco-village based in the Algarve. based around sustainable modern architecture and living, as well as regeneration of its close environment. Isn't that very beautiful? And I'm really excited to be talking to the team, who are Arus and Kjartan this morning. Kjartan is the project manager, also part of cryptoportugal.iou. Yes, a few, not IOU. Although it is a bit like that with Bitcoin at the moment, isn't it? Is it not? Cryptoportugal.io is what Kjartan is part of, and Arus is a senior architect with a wide range of skills in design, planning, and construction, as you can see here from the team section of their website at revive.casa. Basically, they have a base in Berlin as well, and they are a Renaissance couple who are looking at this development, and we'll be talking to them because it's moved to Portugal Thursday about all sorts of things, including their love of Portugal, what brought them here, and we will talk about the Eco-vilage en passant as well this morning. So, yeah, I mean, feel free to chip in with the inspiration for you to be here in Portugal and move to Portugal Thursday. You don't have to be a passive consumer of this show. You can chip into the comments. And I'll go straight there, actually. We recorded a fantastic webinar last week with Amit Zumdah, who is a US expat now in Estoril. And we had a lovely conversation. I just felt like I was talking to Amit during parts of the webinar, just catching up, seeing how he was doing. And then it's going down very well on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, if you will, on the YouTube channel, and you won't miss anything like that. Tonight, of course, the webinar is a conversation with me and Anna Caramujo of SavvyCat. So great to be talking to Anna at SavvyCat again. I think one of the recordings I did with her has had 35,000 views. And tonight, it's all about renting and buying in Portugal. As you can see on your screen now, 7:30 until 9. Lisbon time, of course, Portugal time. Ask anything about buying and renting property in Portugal. It's a Portugal Calling webinar from Expats Portugal in conjunction with SavvyCat Realty tonight. I catch up with Anna. So do join us for that. Go to the website to book yourself a place on that. Yes, and from last week's, here's a little bit of the conversation I had with Amit, and a very kind offer from him to startups, people wanting to start businesses here in Portugal. He doesn't know so much about the nuts and bolts of that, because I think he's yet to do that himself. But he has successfully started companies and a tech company, which he is still working with and on from here in Portugal. So here his offer right here. I may just ask you how you found working with Expats Portugal and how helpful we may have been in this process, bringing you to Portugal.
Yeah, I think the organization of that, the 10, 12 week, I forget exactly how long it was, but, the whole moving, the beta test that we joined, that it was great to have some sort of organization to the process, right? To say, okay, here's what we need to know about this stuff. Here's what we need to know and do about things. And so I think it's good to know when to do what in order for things to line up when you actually move. Right? And I think we learned a lot about that from that combination of the sessions you did, and even some of the background videos you had already done. I think it's good to learn from the hive mind, basically, and not think you can do it all yourself. And then but the corollary to that is be prepared for the unexpected, right? So it doesn't matter how organized you are, there's always going to be something that'll get thrown at you. And so you just have to kind of roll with it.
Thank you, and thank you personally. If we may thank you as Expats Portugal for being part of that hive mind as well, because you've been very open and giving of yourself, as you are tonight, in the forum, and always ready to help other people. So we really appreciate that, and we pride ourselves on the strength of this community. And thank you for being a part of it, Amit.
Oh, thank you. And one of the things I personally wanted to do here is, hopefully help some smaller startup build their business, because obviously that's my background. And so, there are people maybe on this forum that, want to talk about that. I'd be happy to.
Oh, that's really kind.
a buffer.
Perfect. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction to yourself and your epic adventure coming over to Portugal. Sounds mostly favourable, and it's great to have you here. I'm doing some deep breathing here and helping the technology to calm down a little this morning. I think that mainly came out okay. Amit Zumdah there, Zoom, as you might know him, from our conversation last Thursday, which was a good one. You can see the full length version of that over on our YouTube channel. So what's this? Carl, you look short. You look like yourself on my screen, just shorter than you were yesterday. Yes. I change when no one's looking. Let's go to your comments this morning. Lots to squeeze in. We'll have that conversation with Mary a little later on and the Revive team, revive.casa. We'll look at a couple of properties. I'm going to need some reminders to how to squeeze all of this in, and some lovely, juicy Portuguese history today as well from the Prof. So thank you very much, Prof. And a property tip from the Prof as well. T-Ducks in, bon dia, Gumputters. And the Prof. Oh, shock horror, this just in. Bon dia, I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have Googled some of this stuff, and we thought it just tripped off his tongue, all natural and that. But no, apparently he looks some of it up. He does research. That's very thorough. It's very thorough. Well done. And no accusations of fake news here. So let's go straight to it, shall we? Oh, yes. So today in Portuguese history, this is number one, parts 1 and 2 today at the very least. 1731, the King of Portugal, that's not him, left there. The King of Portugal ordered the beginning of the Aqueducts Aqueduct construction, becoming operational in 1748. There's an aqueduct, isn't there, that goes into the Óbidos Castle. And I believe the Queen, who was there at the time, said, I want running water, sort it out. And they did. So yes, aqueducts all over Portugal. A lovely one in Tomar as well, actually, just on the edge of town there. Quite understated and not making too much of a big deal of it. But the aqueduct at Tomar is a marvel as well. So there you go, 1731. Portuguese history today in Portuguese history number 1. 1731, King of Portugal ordered the beginning of the Águas Aqueduct construction, becoming operational in 1748 there. And what else has the Prof got for us? In 1731, we continue. The king ordered the beginning of the Águas Aqueduct construction. Hydraulic structure. What does that mean? Could somebody let me know what that means? I've got an idea, but I'd like the specifics on that. It is a hydraulic structure. It's not as if it comes in and out of the ground in a hydraulic way, right? But anyway, somebody will let us know. Andrew will probably let us know, won't he? He talks a lot of hydraulics. I didn't say that just to say that. It is a hydraulic structure that stretches over 36 miles. What? Built of cut stone and limestone. That's extraordinary, isn't it? And it must be wonderful to be up on the top of the aqueduct and see the water running through as and when it does. We interrupt this history with a message from T-Duck, who says, great meetup yesterday. We had a lot of fun. So cool to see friends and meet new people. Today we have a few appointments, so must dash ate amanya. Okay, fair enough. I hope you heard that before you popped out, T-Duck. Great to see you over these last few days. One of the only buildings to survive the 1755 Lisbon earthquake, to continue with our history here. The Águas Aqueduct was classified as a national monument on the 16th of June, 1910, nominated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2017. Now, I believe it's the aqueduct you see as you come into town, right? We're coming in from the north. Yeah, coming in from the north, you're likely to see the aqueduct crossing the road, aren't you, as you make your way into the city? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you don't need a second invitation, excuse me, to do that here. Bon dia, Gumpers. Thank you very much for that part 1 there, Prof. Delighted to see that UNESCO have acknowledged the Águas Aqueduct there, but it took them a long time. They waited until 2017. and classified in Portugal as a national monument on the 16th of June 1910, surviving the 1755 Lisbon earthquake. James is in, everybody. Look, they made this statue of me. Okay, so it's just, the penny's just dropped, James. That picture of you, the banana slug, is actually a statue, what, at Santa Cruz University there? Tony! That's to Baldylocks. Good morning, all, and good morning to you, Tony Baldylocks, as well. And today in Portuguese history, too, 1982, the foiled assassination. Now, when I'm first reading a foiled assassination, I think of an assassin wrapped in aluminum, for you Americans, or an aluminium robe, or a conspiracy theorist, possibly, in the worst possible stereotype. And I feel I must come to the aid and protection of my conspiracy theory friends, of which, and I have many, and a growing number day by day, it would seem, anyway. Not that kind of foiled assassination, a foiled assassination as in one that was rumbled, of Pope John Paul II at Fatima. Now, I don't remember this, although I was alive at the time. And this is quite scary stuff. 1 year after a previous attempt, a Spaniard broke through a security line with a bayonet and scratched the Pope with a bayonet. Rascal. Flipping heck, that must have been terrifying. Bayonet fixed and coming towards you, with a Spaniard on the other end of it. I mean, you know, not making a particular point about the nationality of the foiled assassin there, but crikey, just going about your business, and then a bayonet comes your way. My goodness, thank you for that, Prof. Eusebio, this morning. Looking forward to your property pick as well. Andrew Gilchrist is here and may well indeed have answered my question about hydraulics. Let's see as we scroll through the comments in anticipation of Martino Mary and, of course, the Revive team later on in the show. Just making sure actually here that I've sent the right link to Martino Mary. Oh, good, she's got that. And I've got an interesting Bitcoin. We will be talking about Bitcoin and crypto later on, and saw a very interesting Bitcoin meme yesterday, which I would like to share with you. Okay, Suze, great, so good to see you. I meet you and Taxi in person yesterday. Good morning, Gumper, says Suze. Love meeting folks in person yesterday at the meetup. Ate a fabulous bean veg soup and a new flaky crust apple dessert. That does sound yum, actually. And we were trying to discern which kind of soup it was, and talked about the cultural importance of soup in Portugal. And I did see that Palmeira had posted a little video about their bean soup. So it was definitely bean soup. Thank you so much, Nelson, host proprietor at Palmeira. And that is now our fixed venue. And except for exceptional circumstances, you know, we might go off-piste, off-site, out of town and go to a barbecue meetup at some point. But I think Palmeira offers so much good value and versatility. That will be our base. And Nelson, very happy to have us. I had a chat with him yesterday. Thank you to everybody who came. Jean, great to meet you and your family yesterday. Bondi Alegria from Baddy, also at the meetup. It was lovely. I never got around to talking to everyone. It's difficult these days, isn't it? As we get scattered all over the place. So keep coming back is what Baddy's recommendation is for the Silver Coast meetup. Now, going back to the assassination attempt, I think Frere Juan Cron, who had been ordained a priest, brother Juan, who had been ordained a priest in 1978 by the Traditionalist Society of St. Pius X, the order founded by Archbishop Marcel Lefebvre as a response against the Second Vatican Council. Oh, okay, some bad feeling bubbling on here. Crone became radicalized and was expelled from the ultra-conservative group. My goodness. They're not saying a very good example, I think I'm able to say here. He attacked the Polish Pope because he was convinced that communism has infiltrated the Catholic Church. I think that there's quite a big and obvious omission of Christ's teachings here, if I may be so bold. He believed that John Paul was himself a communist agent bent on destroying the church. He wasn't. Apparently, he was treated for mental illness and then expelled from Portugal and became a solicitor in Belgium. Oh man, what a story this morning! That's extraordinary, isn't it? So Juan Crone, if you are buying property or doing legal things in Belgium, and your solicitor you discover is Juan Crone, he's got a little story to tell you about that time he went to Fatima My goodness. Okay, must have done the crime and served the time, and all is well again. My goodness. Prof. Suze, you may have just got out in time. Finland have just announced they're applying to join NATO. I think, yeah, an interesting comment there, Prof. We felt it, didn't we, for Suze in these previous weeks about the tension, the anxiety, the understandable anxiety that may have got to any Finnish folks, possibly Suze included, and we're delighted to have her closer to us and away from all of that. At the Prof from Rebel Mama, good morning to you, Rebel Mama, Rebel Mama. What's going on? What is it? I can't read that out, can I? Is the deal with people being insanely terrified of communist law? Well, your country folk did a very good job of helping with that process, right, Rebel Mama? Back in the day, I think, believing them to be even under the bed, right? Because it rhymes with red. Hola, Jane. Super excited today. I have a fun weekend planned that starts in a few hours. Beijinhos. Have a great day, Rebel Mama. I waved goodbye to all at the meetup, went on my way a few steps and realized I hadn't paid my bill. Nice try. So I returned to, I thought you left comments and more conversation. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with that at the meetup. Sue's too, midlife crisis. Haven't watched the news. Glad to be here. In response to your comment there about being away from Finland and here in Portugal. Hola, bon dia, a todos. Amsterdam Solero, sunny Amsterdam. Then how's it going, Matty? Let us know. Give us an update, mate, if you will. My favorite bit of that story is becoming a solicitor in Belgium. Me too. What a plot twist. What a plot twist. It's almost worth going to Belgium and getting a solicitor, isn't it? Are you the, oh, yeah. Yes, I am, but I don't like to talk about it. Louise, good morning to you. Where you been? Bonzi, I hope everyone is well. Looking forward to this while I walk the dog. And that is not a euphemism of any kind. A trusted house sitter and pet sitter, Louise. At your service. Where are you at the moment, Louise? I don't know if you can stop along the way and let us know where you are. Maybe even send in a photo. And that'd be marvelous. Bon dia, Gria Gumpers. Didn't get to talk to you as much as I would have liked yesterday, Cindy, but great to see you. And Jack Polly, Dad. Bon dia off to Alvor later this morning. Jack is going to be a Portimao hostess for the meetup in the Algarve upcoming. Yes, well done for prompt attendance. You didn't go unnoticed. Now let's hear you talking some hydraulics as well, I hope. Bon dia, Carl and crew from Nina and fam. Looking forward to a meetup soon. Well, we are so looking forward to meeting you, seeing you soon, all of you. Can I do a roaming meetup? Yes, why not? That sounds great. At a yet undisclosed location, Louise. You just tell people, like the old rave days, driving around the M25, waiting for a text message. It could be something similar to that, couldn't it? I want to do the Lisboa link up. Fine, Andrew, I'll put your name down for that as well. That's great news. Bom dia, mon carapacho, un poco nebloso. So a bit cloudy down there in the Algarve. The Algarve isn't having the best of the weather. I think it's nice and warm at times, but Central has got the high temperatures at the moment. And we'll go to your pictures and video now, June. Because you sent in a fantastic video this morning, looking for an identification of a particular insect. If you are squeamish about some things like this, you might want to look away now. But here is what I think is a mole cricket. What do you think? Now, I think I've got to play that again. That was very quick. Pay attention. If you're looking away, pretending to work or some other such thing, how rude. Look at your video now so you can help June identify this creature. Now, I think mole cricket, because it's burrowing away then, hence the name, perhaps. I'm no endometriologist or whatever you're supposed to be if you it's not that, is it? If you're, what is it with it? I used to work at the Natural History Museum as well, would you believe it? And I worked on an exhibition there that was to do with creepy crawlies of this kind, and I've forgotten everything about it. But anyway, no, not arachnids. There's a still anyway, and I think it is the mole cricket, isn't it? Look at that massive head, designed for burrowing into the ground if it indeed is a mole cricket. Staying with creatures, we talked about Asian hornets on Monday on the gardening Q&A. And thank you so much for this, Sharon. Look at this. This is what can happen in swimming pools, of course. We haven't got a sense of scale apart from the other insect detritus around it. So I think it's looking like a pretty big wasp to me. And there's a strange but sad beauty about that picture, isn't there? It's drowned in the pool, as have a few other creatures. But they give you a sense of scale, don't they? Those little mozzies and spiders that are around the Asian hornet there. That's a strangely beautiful photograph. Thank you very much for that. We'll come back. We were talking about cycling yesterday. Prof, you have been busy. Sent us in a beautiful photo. Thank you to all the things you send me, Prof. And yesterday from an ancient cycling safety poster from the ACP. So I've got that to show you as well before the show's out today. Moving to Portugal Thursday, Martino Mary will be with us soon. And the Revive team later on, talking about, among other things, the Eco-Village project in the south. As well as cryptocurrency. I think for a lot of people, we don't talk enough about cryptocurrency. For others, perhaps we talk too much about it. But looking forward to talking to the Revive team about this and the other things they're involved in here in Portugal and why they wanted to come here, why they love it here in Portugal. DJ, can anyone lend me some herbs? Yes, I'm living on borrowed time. You've got to see that, haven't you? You've got to see that comment because it's a herb joke, everybody. Worthy of a dad joke warning, but I was too slow on the uptake there. Okay. Where are we? Where did we get to? Walking the dog, Bon Dia Alegria, Alvor. Yes, well done, everybody. And Nina and family. Roaming meetups. Andy's in. Look, Andy's in. I did exactly the same thing when I went to the meetup. Fortunately, my wife reminded me to go back and play. Honestly, you're going to give us a bad name, you expats. Trying to do a runner and then I forgot, sorry, come on, we're better than this. And Suze, yes, yesterday you looked at me, didn't you, say you're taller than I imagined you to be. Funny that, isn't it, what technology can do to you. Is it me or does Carl keep freezing? I think I do keep freezing, but I think it might have settled down now. It may not have. You will let me know, I'm sure. Gina's here as well this morning. Hola, bon dia, back in Portugal. Continuing my adventure. Well done, Gina. Currently in Lisboa this morning. Great to have you here on the show. Pete's in as well. Start of a major crash this morning. Thank you for that. Good news, Pete. Is that right? Because Mrs. M was talking about this. She was seeing a few ticker tapes, American ticker tapes, showing some somewhat alarming crashing going on in the financial markets. Asian markets have tanked. Crypto is returning to its true worth of zero. Oh, come on, don't be like that. I mean, you can't be partial like that, Pete, can you? Because the true worth of all currencies is zero, isn't it? Until we give them meaning and furnish them. I wonder what Kjartan will have to say about that this morning. How's everyone in crypto faring? Hopefully we weren't holding any Luna or UST. I suspect not in this community. I don't want to be prejudicial about them and their crypto habits, but I think that's a bit niche. That's Sam Nazare. Good morning to you. And Pedro Martins is here with a bon dia. How are you doing, Pedro? Francis also here. Fantastic to see you, Francis. Bon dia, Alegria todos. I'm big on being off the grid and eco vibes. I dream of living in a container on my quinta, a quinta container, or at least having one as an office a little away from the house. Happy to be here. There's a lovely container-based well, what is it? A home. Yes, a home in Foz de Aurelia that you can see from the road. I might take a photo of it for you to inspire you further, Francis, when I'm passing one day. Forbes, the worst of the stock market crash may be yet to come, according to Wall Street's fear gauge signal. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? The fear gauge signal. all you beings of love and light, welcome to the show this morning. It's only money. Francis Gerbach is living in a container at 30 plus degrees. I think you will be baked. Yes, this is the problem. I think you've got to do some serious insulation on the inside, haven't you? Or even cover it with a vine or two on the outside. It's very attractive, isn't it? For sure. The whole container living idea, but in a hot country, I think you've got to pick your position in the world, and then the position on the microclimate that you find yourself in as well there, Francis. So yeah, something to be considering there. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have crashed further overnight. Hodlers will be hodling. Don't worry about that. Dropping to levels not seen since the crypto market began surging in late 2020 and wiping away half. I feel like I should bring on this meme now, in something of a defense or a balance here. I like to present the balance. It's not necessarily my own personal opinion, but when comments go to a certain partisan sense in the comments, it's nice to be able to balance it up a little bit. And I think this might do that. But then again, I might be talking out of my hat, which wouldn't be the first time, would it? Bitcoin yearly lows. In 2012, the low was $4. In 2021, the low was 28,700. I think big picture is important, but time will tell, of course, with this. Let's see what Kjartan thinks of that this morning. And Arus also here from the Revive team. We did the time joke. Oh, no, this is another one. And DJ means dad joke. I didn't pick up on that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I will play the warning next time. Okay, so thank you, Andrew and Pete, with their thing. But they're like Gordon geckos this morning, aren't they? Watching the screens and seeing what's going on around the world. Almost, I mean, somebody's going to be right about this one day, aren't they? They always are. Almost 1 trillion worth of value in a month as a serious ripple warning comes into effect. That's from the fear gauge. I just don't want to live like that, do you? But I suppose they do say it's good to know what's going on around the world. But you've got to get the balance right with that stuff. Good luck trying to convert any of that into cash. Oh, they're like Waldorf and Statler from the Muppet Show, those two this morning, aren't they? Andrew Gilchrist and Pete. This crypto thing will never catch on. Get on with the show. That sinking feeling, says Andrew. We shall see. I will attend the Lisboa meetup, says Anita, on condition we don't talk about stock market crashes. Yes, there's a warning to you there. They might have to huddle, not hodl, in a corner to talk about such things, right, Anita? Well said, Anita. Let's keep the vibes up, everybody. We're going to need those up and positive vibes by the look of things. If you doom-mongers are right, which you probably will be at some point, to be fair. Jean, good morning to you. Bon dia, Gumpers. Thank you for being here this morning, Jean. Okay, a dad joke warning. Thank you for that. Didn't pick it up on the first time through, but here's one for you now.
Warning.
Oops, just took a big mouthful of water there. So this dad joke then, where's it gone? The comments are piling in and helping me lose my place. So, Prof, you're incredibly productive this morning or in this last 24 hours. My Twitter password has been hacked again. This will be the third time I've had to rename the dog. Well, hey! And I finally moved there in 8 weeks. Oh, okay, so we've got, maybe we can celebrate the first Lisboa meetup. That will coincide with the climax of your lusophonic plans, Andrew, or lusophilic, which just doesn't sound right or nice, does it? Anyway, counting down 8 weeks. So, yes, we have a host for Lisboa and a host for the Algarve by the sound of it. Oh, another one. Okay. I'm like Carl. We sit small, but stand tall. You're a big fella, Andy. It is interesting. I was talking to Mrs. M about this because someone else said to me yesterday, people are so different in real life compared to, you get an idea of somebody from this environment, don't you? And then you meet them in real life and they can be very different. And that, I think, is because in the virtual world, it's like online dating, isn't it? You get maybe 5% information about somebody. Of all the information you could possibly have about someone, you get a tiny bit in the digital world. And you have to, in your own mind, this is what we do with our imaginations, isn't it? And this is how the human mind works. It fills in the blanks. So you have to create 95% fiction and projection based on the 5% you're getting on the screen. In real life, it's the other way around. You get 100%, don't you? Of somebody. And you have to scale it down and ignore parts of it because it's too much. You see, that's my theory anyway, about the difference about what goes on in the digital world and the real world and why online dating can be so disastrous, but not always. I met Mrs. M online, would you believe? Dang, Wi-Fi is glitchy this morning. Is that yours or mine, or is that everybody rushing to the internet this morning to look at their investment portfolios? I don't know. That's great news, Andy. About the 8-week countdown. He's given me a dad joke warning, and I'm worried now. Solar Life Portugal, Pete. I don't mind getting baked in a container. Hey, I do agree. Is that a herb joke? Another herb joke this morning. I do agree. Needs to be well insulated, I'm sure. Yeah, you know what you're doing. From Sam Nazare to the Prof. Try turning on 2-factor authentication. You should You shouldn't get hacked. I think it was a joke, Sam Nazare, there, but it happened. It's not a joke when it actually happens in real life, is it? Bon dia, Carl and friends. Hey, Kate, how are you? See you later on. And Chris, thank you for being here this morning. How are you doing? Keeper of the likes, like us Maximus. Meetup alert, Sintra meetup. Okay, Friday. Not an official Expats Portugal one, but we're always glad to hear of any meetups that we can go to. The Hopsin Brewery. That sounds like a good name for a brewery, doesn't it? Hopsins. I wonder if you can get a pardon there as well for all the hopsins you commit that evening. Kalarish tomorrow, Friday at 5 p.m. Oh, yes, Thursday already in it. The weekend has begun for me. Webinar tonight and the Premium Plus crew in the house at 9 o'clock, talking about shipping of pets and Portugal. Just a quick shout out to the Premium Plus crew, those on the Portugal plan, talking about shipping tonight. And Jerry will have a nice, my utility presentation last week was based on a family of 5, 2 dogs and 3 chickens. And Jerry will give a household of 2, which might be useful, obviously, to those in that similar condition. 9 o'clock tonight, Premium Plus shout out. Grace from Andy, Francis, James, the cavemen, as we can call them, shouting out to each other this morning, beating their chests. With the price of containers at the moment, you may well get a ruin a lot cooler. Yeah, true. God, we've got property to look at, haven't we? Where's Mary? Mary's meant to be joining us this morning. I'll send her a message, all right? I think maybe she thought I was joking. Okay, so what time did I say? 9 a.m. Yeah, I did say join us. Are you joining us, Mary? Let me see if she can do that. If she can't, I can tell you about the fundraiser anyway. But look at that. Presenter having to do his own behind-the-scenes production work, getting guests onto the screen. Rebel Mama to Pete and Andy. Containers are popular in Californian deserts, so I'm sure there is a way to cool them. Must use solar. People do like getting baked in California, don't they? I think. Dude, must use solar, though, or very expensive electric bill. Indeed. Thank you, Rebel Mama. Look at all these cavemen. Do I need to put all of these on the screen? Just grown men shouting at each other in capital letters on the screen. If you were here for the first time, like Paul was saying yesterday, if you're a Martian reporter, you would say, wouldn't you, this is a strange habit these earthlings have of, I'll never get bored of our greetings. Go and tidy your room, Andrew. Bon dia. I'm sure, what's his name? Jordan Peterson will have something to say about this. Bon dia, todos. Antonio F. is here this morning. Antonio, thank you for being here. That is the right way to spell Antonio. I was struggling because I wrote a review of my lovely meal out with Mrs. M at the Eau de Casa restaurant. And the title was Eau de Casa and Eau de Casamento. And we had a lovely couple of waiters that we spoke to there. One was Antonio, one was Paolo. Thank you very much. Struggling for the right spelling. And I will put that right in retrospect with a bit of copy editing retrospectively there. Hydraulics. Relating to a liquid moving in a confined space under pressure. I can see that the liquid is moving on an aqueduct. And it's in a confined space because they're often covered, aren't they, by the stones? But under pressure, is it under pressure of gravity, I suppose? Very good. So talking hydraulics, as you might expect, here on the show this morning. Mary is with us and about to join us on screen. The lovely Mary, Martino Mary, I'm calling you. How are you, Mary, this morning?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, and I'm quite taken by your lovely curtain arrangement there behind you.
Yeah.
What a lovely setup you have here. Fantastic.
It's my little funky self this morning.
I feel like I walked onto the set of Liaison Dangereuse. And
Yes.
John Martin might pop out any minute. But lovely to see you. How are you this morning? Tudo bem?
Tudo bem. I'm just waking up. This laid back Portugal lifestyle. Stay up late, get up later.
Yes, well, I did think when I sent you the invitation and said to you, it's 9 a.m., you might have thought, what? But thank you for being here this morning. Before we get into the doggy fundraiser, an amazing project that you're involved with, moving to Portugal Thursday. So can I ask you about your journey and your adventure and how it relates to Portugal this morning before we get into the doggy fundraiser?
Yes. Well, we've been here almost 2 years in September in San Martino de Porto. Neil, my beloved Neil and I. And it's wonderful meeting new people. And we decided to try a different life. coming from the US. I grew up in California, and I was born on the island of San Miguel, so I'm Portuguese myself, and my Portuguese, I've been working on that. A little rusty, a little accent that I'm told from the folks here. But it's a journey. It's a new life. And now that things are opening up in the world, maybe we get to experience the real Portugal that everyone talks about that's been here, because we got here right after lockdown. So, and so we had a different experience than we ever had before. So therefore, that's where I found needing to spend time and walking dogs. I missed that. And I had a friend that had a dog, and I was walking him, and then something happened to him and I couldn't walk him anymore. So I put it out there on Facebook. Does anybody have a dog to walk or any animals to spend time with? And Orlan, who was helping out with this Canil, and she's part of the group that helps out with the volunteers of San Martino, and told me about this little shelter here in town. So of course I went there, and I met with Manuela, a lovely Portuguese lady who's local, and she's been taking care of these pups for about 6 years now. Pretty much a lot of it on her own in the mornings and getting some help. She's there in the morning, she's there in the evenings to feed them, clean them, let them out in the morning, put them back in their kennels at night. They're in a lovely little fenced-in area. And she works really hard. And so I would take a couple of the dogs for walks that could walk, Dina and Brown. And so these dogs are basically older dogs. They're and some of them have some physical issues. Some of them have been in shelters pretty much their whole lives. Yes, so they love, and they're so sweet for being shelter dogs. And a couple are really shy, and Poppy loves to bark at everyone, but they are wonderful. And every year since I've been here is the second time these folks, volunteers San Martino, would do a dinner meal for fundraising to help out with medical bills, food, their yearly vaccines, things, money to fix up the place. It's a little old place in this plot of land that they have to pay rent for. So that we basically needed to raise a little money for these guys. We've lost about 3 pups in the last year. So yes, and it's been hard, but I had one of them myself for a few months before we let it go. And it just brought so much joy to me. And so we have a couple of volunteers that help out with walking, and always looking for folks to help out with walking, giving them some love and fixing up the place. It needs some work. So this fundraiser base is going to be a takeout. So they've done takeout since last year with COVID. So it's going to be a takeout with Flemish meat stew with potatoes, and it's yummy. And for veggies, they have a veggie surprise. I don't know what surprise is because I don't know either. So we're all going to be surprised. And it comes with a bottle of wine and 2 desserts for 25 euros. And anyone can order up till this evening. So they have a head count for all the meals. It's happening this Saturday from 11 to 12. It is not a physical event where people come. It is basically in a parking lot where you pick up the food, even at the doggy spa in Alfezadão, where Orland runs it and takes care of these lovely pups. I actually saw her on Facebook on her page, and some of our pups are on there. She just gave them baths and trims this week. So, yeah.
I think this is the place, right? So we're talking about Canil Sol, aren't we? The sunny kennel,
Yes.
San Martino de Porto. Who is this in the picture there? Is that somebody who
That's
goes
Moshi. That's Moshi. She's one of the locals, folks that help out.
Right.
She also has a retreat center, I guess, that does yoga, meditation, all that fun stuff up in the hills.
Fantastic.
And there's a couple of our pups in there. We've got some different ones. And so it's we're hoping to raise some money with this. And again, if folks don't live in the area and they don't want to do the food thing, they can always donate through Multibank. And I can always put that information on the chat. I do have the number. And
I
looks like
as well.
it's
Yeah, I'll put that info into the chat there.
wonderful because
Just to
I'm low
reiterate,
tech. So
well, yeah, me too this morning, but I'll do my best here. I'm gonna. Okay, yeah, I'm basically cut and pasted the message you sent to me with a nib number. If anybody is thinking to themselves after hearing the story of these lovely dogs, many of whom probably wouldn't be your ideal adoption candidates. Some of them have got quite complex needs, haven't they? And this is amazing. Who is the founder again? Can you tell us the name of the founder of this lovely place?
I believe I'm not sure who actually started it. Orlane from the doggy spa is a big part of it. And, Manuel has been doing this for 6 years. A lovely
Manuela,
Portuguese
okay, yeah,
lady.
that's the person I'm thinking of, because a lot of expats just, understandably get very concerned about the number of strays and
Yes.
how things are different here in Portugal, and this is an incredible example of quite the opposite, of so much
Yes.
love for
Yes.
the dogs here. Some of whom, as I say, have complex needs and medications, and they need special treatment. And it sounds like, although their lives are quite difficult in some ways, their lives are being made very beautiful in other
Yes.
ways. They're being looked after very, very well.
Yeah, and we do have a couple, if anyone has the heart to think about adopting or fostering, Manuel is very loving to these dogs. They're almost like hers. So she's very particular about who would adopt them. And again, no one's really looked into that. We have Brown, who's really full of energy and loves to walk. He's, I don't know how old he is, maybe 8. And Dina also, who's in the is one of the walkers as well. So yeah, that's an opportunity there to think about that. And like I said, Manuela has been doing this for all herself, and with some help. And she's lost one of her gals that used to do this in the morning with her for the last 3 years, but went back to Scotland, I believe. And and she's going to be having some surgery soon. So I might have to figure out helping her in the mornings, oh dear, and in the evenings to put these dogs up and out. But when it rains, when she knows the weather's going to be bad, she goes down there and checks on them between house cleaning. She does house cleaning, takes care of her elderly mom, grandkids. So yeah, so we really need a little help here and there. And any little bit that anyone wants to donate would be lovely.
Well, you know what, Mary? Some people will be thinking, where am I going to live when I move to Portugal? And having something like this, a project like this, is nice to be able to move towards, I think, as well. It might influence some people in their choice of where they live here in Portugal. So here, if you come to San Martino de Porto, you can get involved with this project and help out in the way that Mary has detailed there. The number you sent me about picking up and delivering the takeaways, which is a very kind offer as well. May I give that number on the screen? Is that okay? The one ending in 367. Okay, so that's a number then that's gone into the chat now. If you want to get involved with the fundraising and enjoy some delicious Belgian food. We had a talk of a Belgian solicitor this morning who tried to assassinate the Pope. This is showing a very different part of Belgian culture this morning. Some food, which is a fundraiser for the Sunny Kennel here in San Martino, where Mary is involved, and very has kindly come along to help out and tell us about it this morning. Where to order the food? I've put the phone number in there for you, Baddy.
Well, the food is mostly to order the food is the other phone number that ends in 303, because she's in charge of getting the food together. Okay, last year, for folks who didn't have a car or anything like that, who were local, close by, I called in the order and picked up the money later, and then went basically to pick up the food and deliver it. So I had about 5 folks that needed some help with that who didn't have transportation. Otherwise, it's an easy in and out, either pay over, bring cash and just come and get the food and just enjoy. Otherwise, if folks need some help, they can reach me at the 367 number. But it's mostly 303.
Rather than confuse people, which I'm very capable of doing, I will just leave that number there for all matters to do with Canil Sol y Praia in San Martino de Porto this morning. So just going back to your journey here, and thank you for coming and doing this morning, Mary, and getting up extra early, which is a bit of a shock to the new expat lifestyle. On the Silver Coast. I take it you're loving it now after this first difficult part. That must have been pretty awkward arriving here during the pandemic and experiencing the country in an unprecedented way. Nobody knew what was going on at the time, and you landed right in the middle of all of that. Has it got better since?
Yes. And thank goodness, we were actually volunteering at the O Pit here in San Martino de Porto, where Pedro Machado opened up this lovely spot near the train station. So he has music there every Sunday now. But we were helping cleaning up, setting up. It was a big process, but we at least got to do something, especially during that time where we really couldn't be out and about. They were very the officials were very mindful of people leaving their homes. So we had little official letters saying that we were helping at the O Pit in San Martino. And so now a lot of the folks actually in the area go down there on Sundays. You see a lot of familiar faces. Music starts at 4. They have food there. And of course, sodas and adult beverages. And on when the summer really kicks off, he's going to have food trucks and bouncy house for the kids. So it's actually, people bring their dogs, their kids. So it's going to be a bigger event probably in the summer. And this is maybe the real summer that we've ever seen here in San Martino. Last summer was, I guess, maybe half of that, but this could be an interesting summer and see a lot of people. Folks are starting to pop around already.
I actually, you talk about it, the O Pit. Others know it as Pit Stop, don't they? If you're not a local, it will be called the Pit Stop. And it's also connected, isn't it, with Superheroes for Kids, which is a fundraising organization for kids as well. So some amazing work going on there. As you say, it's near the station and there's live music there probably at least once a week. And it's quite a focal point for town folk and for expats alike. And I'm just trying to find a link to it. But if you check out Pit Stop, as in the Pit Stop, on Facebook, in San Martino de Porto, you'll find it. And it's a great place to go. Music, beer, hot dogs. What more could you want? When they're for the and is it friendly like that? Dogs running about?
They're all over. People bring their little dogs or big dogs. It's, they enjoy the music and they're people and greet everyone. So it's really
there's a few Harley Davidsons in the car park as well. So bikers come from all over, don't they?
Yeah, it's quite a spot for Sunday riders that stop and hang out. And so it's quite the atmosphere, lots of friendly people. It's just fun. It's one place that we know that we can go on Sundays and enjoy some music, and a lot of regular folks get together and just spend time and laugh and dance. There's dancing. The brave folks who want to dance everywhere.
Great behavior. Here on the Silver Coast. Okay, we all know where that leads. So amazing finding out about the Pit Stop this morning, an institution here, a place of great entertainment and fun. Pit Stop, just by San Martino de Porto Station. Thank you for that.
Too, that a lot of the funds that are raised on those days that people come in and enjoy, that they go towards the Superhero for Kids. So that's important to know too. So it's a great charity, and it's a great way to help out and have fun.
You're making yourself very useful and having a positive impact on life here, Mary. And to Neil, shout out to Neil as well this morning. Thanks for being here this morning and for bringing attention to this lovely doggy sanctuary. Where some of these oldies here are getting well looked after on their own bit of land, and they need a little bit of an injection of cash to help with various things, as dogs do, obviously as pets do. So go to the number in the chat this morning if you want to help out with that. And you can also, actually, I'll put the Facebook link in as well for this lovely place too, which is Canil Sol. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll put in the event link as well, and you'll be able to find out everything you need to know about the place from that. Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And I really do love your curtains as well.
Yeah, I do too. So thank you. And thank you for the gatherings on Wednesdays. It's been wonderful meeting new people. So that's a wonderful event. And I can't wait to see what happens in the summer. Where are we going to go?
I don't know. I think maybe it's going to be like Woodstock, isn't it? On that green. It's going to be a festival vibe. And we'll
just come to your house.
That's fine, of course. What a really good solution. Okay, check with Mrs. M. Mary, thank you so much. See you
Thank
again
you. Everyone
soon.
have a beautiful day. Great weekend.
Cheers. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Superb there. Mary, Martino Mary, as she is now forever known on this show and the fundraiser there. That she mentioned the San Martino doggy spot, not to be confused with the San Martino dogging spot. Just in case you are picking up and transferring food there. Let me remove that banner from the screen and show you some property. Now, we've got to move on because the Revive gang will be here soon. And we are looking at, what are we looking at here? We have a property in Tomar. Thank you to the prof for this, and loads of lovely comments and a few more dad jokes. I think a traditional Portuguese joke to share as well in there, hopefully not causing too much offense. But we'll see. We will see about that, won't we? This one then, Tomar, 100,000 euros, the price ticket for this amazing home. Let's have a look at it. I'll show you the photos. In traditional Portuguese blue and white. That's a beauty on Idealista here. House for sale in Largo Engenheiro Mendes Godinho. And let's click through the pictures now. I can give you all the details in just a moment, but love looking at property photos. Look at that balcony. 2 balconies, one on either side. And you can reenact favorite scenes from Shakespearean tragedies and other such fun to be had as you address people on the street as well. Look, 2 floors. This could be converted, could it not? Here's the entrepreneurially minded solution to this property is maybe live on one half of it or one floor of it and rent out the other in wonderful touristic Tomar. Always people wanting to go to Tomar and might want to come and stay at this property. When you've given it a lick of paint, a nespera, that's a nespera bush, isn't it? Inside the, underneath the lean-to there. So plenty of timber. I'd like to see a property that comes with plenty of timber so that you can incorporate it into the renovation work. A satellite lead hanging out of the wall there. So it's all set up for satellite by the look of it, if you still have such a thing. And I think a few bits of Portuguese furniture, which I think should be de rigueur with any property that you buy in Portugal. And you think to yourself, now, am I going to build a man cave around that massive display cabinet with all my Portuguese ports in it? This is a lovely place, isn't it? Open plan. And I would say unusually open plan here in this part of central Portugal. I don't know. A bidet, of course, included in the sale there in the smart bathroom setup there. White porcelain, always good. Like I said the other day, it could be worse. You could have avocado, you could have chocolate brown, couldn't you? As was all the rage in the 70s and 80s. Corner fireplace. Can't quite walk into that one. But that's a nice one to warm yourself around in the colder months, isn't it? Front and back. And yes, lovely tiled ceramic floors and some good wide open space here in this property. Built-in cupboard for your booze store there or other things. Comes with a big chest as well. Who doesn't like a big chest first thing in the morning there? This house for sale in Largo Engenheiro Mendes Godinho, 100,000 euros. With the capability, I think they've taken a lot out of this, haven't they, to give you an idea of what can be done here, I think, or somebody's begun something of a renovation or at least a tidy up project here. But yes, could be split into 2. Oh, and an interesting attic as well. Lovely views out across the countryside in this part of central Portugal too. All in all, nice gaff, nice place there. Let's see if we can go back to the cover pic, shall we, so you can see what we're talking about here as I scroll back through the pickies. Very interesting property. You can have a lot of fun if you are the person doing the refurb there. And just let me go back to the listing. Oh, where do I find out? Oh, yeah, just click on that button there. Relax. It's a T6, 6 bedrooms, 2 stories then with 2 independent entrances, each floor 135 square meters, attachments and garage inserted in a plot of land with 1,021 square meters with Olival, Figueiras, Laranjeiras. So we've got olives, figs and oranges located 10 minutes by car from Torres Novas. Good location in Troncamento and Tomar. Excellent. The Castelo de Bodam, as I said before, 30 minutes from Fatima. And we'll be talking about Fatima with Filomena tomorrow, Filomena Friday tomorrow, and 60 minutes from the Praia de Nazaré. Wow, good location then. T6, 2 bathrooms, land plot of 640 square meters, built in 1948, and no indication of the energy setting. That's going to be a little bit damp in the winter, if you don't mind me saying. But nice one. Thank you very much for that. The prof. Go to Idealista. Oh, before anyone asks, yes, I should put the listing link, shouldn't I? So that you're not trying to do a super sleuth effort and find that yourself from the information I've given. Here, I'll make it easy for you. There's the Idealist listing for you. Enough space then, says Chris. Come here, comment. Enough space to knock it down and rebuild faster and built with modern building practices. Oh, Chris, you modernist. Okay, let's go back up into the comments and we'll come back to your feedback on that property there. Another one later on in the show from Madeira. Okay, lots of comments, lots of chat. Thank you to Mary for being here this morning. The Revive crew will be with us soon, I hope, talking about their eco-village and cryptocurrency and what they love about being here in Portugal. Oh, sorry, Andy, I missed your pictures there. And I think things are sensitive enough technologically without me going into WhatsApp right now. Dad joke, we've already had the warning. Mr. and Mrs. Munson are tightrope walkers. They met online. Very good. Prof, 3 or 4 shredded wheat this morning for you, I suspect. Okay. Oh, scrolling. They see me scrolling. So much said here this morning. Sarah's in as well. Sarah Yemen, thank you for your input yesterday. Now I'm going to do a very Portuguese thing, start talking for ages, then only later in the conversation say bom dia. Yes, very good. Oh, yes, back to the hydraulics. Okay, we are now up to date, and let's catch up, shall we? My goodness, you've been busy. I've turned me back for a moment. I'll chat with Mary, and we have a whole load of comments, but we can't go into them because Arus and Kjartan are here from Revive. Let's bring them onto the screen right now as it's 9:30. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How's it going? How are you?
Hi.
Great. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very excited this morning. We've already been looking at a bit of property. We've talked about a doggy fundraiser. And there's been talk coming in, Kjartan. You might want to address this straight away about crypto crashes around the world. Have you been watching your ticker tapes and screens this morning?
Sure. But I'm pretty happy about it. It's just another opportunity to stack up stats, as people say.
Yes. Absolutely. So hodling there. Where are you both in Portugal this morning?
Well, we're in Lagos, in the south
perfect.
of Portugal, in Algarve, yeah.
And how is your weather there this morning?
It's kind of a little bit cloudy, but warm. It's already summery here.
Giving way to some warmer weather, we hope, later on today. So we've got a few things to talk about. You two are a Renaissance couple. I hope you don't mind me referring to you as that. A little bit of digital nomad. Looking at creating an eco-village, into the crypto scene as well. What was it that first attracted you to life here in Portugal? Part of that must be the rather advantageous capital gains situation with crypto, but there must be many other things as well that you love about Portugal. Tell us about it, if you will.
Yeah, I think over the years we've been looking for a place to settle down that kind of offers everything we wish for in life. We used to live in Berlin for the past 7 to 9 years, and we've been traveling around the world, and Portugal was a place we kept coming back to, and because also of the crypto-friendly tax regime they have here, the weather, the prices, the people, it was obvious in the end that this is where we would end up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I guess I'm originally from Armenia, and I've been living in Germany for the past 9 years. And I felt that culturally, I need something that is a bit closer to my heart. And at the same time, not only culturally, but also in the environment, the climate should also match somehow to something that I was familiar with. And when we came to Portugal, every time we would come here, it would feel home. So I was just following that feeling of coming home. And this is why we decided to settle down here and just see how our roots are growing. And at the moment, we noticed that the ground, metaphorically, the ground is so much more fertile for us to spread our roots and make projects, meet people. So I guess that's how we came to be in Portugal.
Yeah, fertile ground. Fertile ground, a great metaphor, isn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Chat, go on.
No, yeah, there's a wave of people like us coming here, and I feel we're part of this first wave. That's how it feels. Like people have been moving to Portugal for ages, but I think there is kind of a different crowd right now, more entrepreneurial in spirit. Digital nomads, yes, but also entrepreneurs who want to create bigger things.
Yeah, I think also Portugal is a country that attracts people who appreciate nature and connection to nature and respect to nature. We have a lot of people in our network who really appreciate that Portugal is still not very attached to progress, as we have noticed in Northern European countries. It's more like more grounded, more slow, more taking it easy, paying attention to different details in life, and not focusing that much on just general, just growing, progressing, as it was the case in Germany.
I think we lost Carl for a second there.
Yeah. Well said. I suppose there's a in some sense of look towards the future, digital nomad. Oh, hear me now.
We can't hear you well.
I think our systems are quite under pressure this morning.
Okay.
Let me put onto the screen, and you might, if you can hear me, you might want to talk through this as well. This is the project in the the perspective, and I think for many people, a project that many are thinking, okay, this is the perfect storm. This is my where I want to live in an eco-village situation with respect to nature. I want to live with others who share the same sort of values, and I want to live in a lovely part of the world, which is the Algarve here. I know it's early days, but what can you tell us about this project and the inspiration behind it?
So we've always been looking for the kind of perfect place to live, a perfect mix between privacy and community, because some communities you're too mixed in with the rest of the community. You don't have your personal space, and in the end you get tired of it. So we wanted to create something a little bit different that is targeted towards kind of the age group of somewhere between 30 and 50 people like us, with interesting backgrounds, entrepreneurs, artists, craftsmen. So we came up with the idea of building an eco-village that is based upon sustainable, regenerative principles and modern architecture, because when it comes to architecture, we also see in Portugal that the architecture is a bit old-fashioned, and there are some problems with a lack of insulation in houses. So in winters, people are cold. Like we spent the first winter in Portugal freezing our ass off. Even though we live in a nice house, we had to purchase a lot of wood and just keep fire burning. But that is something we want to change with this.
Also, we noticed that a lot of the people in our network want the same. So I think we just want to catch up on that wish of what our friends and friends of friends are wishing, and what we're also wishing, and just to create it.
Basically, every person we have met so far in our network who are in Portugal are talking about the same things. They want, this is what they are looking for. So we thought, why not? With our background, Arus has almost 10 years experience as an architect, and I'm an entrepreneur and project manager, and we have experience with building communities as well. Why not? We're the perfect match for this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what a lovely position to be in. It's like, we're looking for somewhere that's really nice and feels natural. And we love this country. We've got an architectural background. We'll build it. We'll build the thing ourselves. So how cool it is that you're in that position. You've talked a lot this morning about digital nomads, entrepreneurs. Do you think there's something happening for Portugal? You know, on the world stage, as it were, this kind of consciousness, this, you know, the digital nomad, the entrepreneurial spirit. Do you think it's finding some a fertile soil? We'll go back to that metaphor here in Portugal.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I can say for myself, I was working or still working digitally with my clients in Germany at the same time as establishing my practice here in Portugal. So definitely working from here as a remote architect has been a great experience. And we have met in the meantime many other people who are working digitally for the countries all over the world.
And obviously the
Amazing.
pandemic has accelerated things. What's that, Carl?
Sorry, I interrupted you there. Carry on.
Yeah, obviously the pandemic has accelerated things, and the unstable situation in the world in general has pushed people to try to live a simpler life where you focus on the things that are more important to you, such as friends and nature and
Yeah, I guess it also allows people to be in places they want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so before you go this morning, I need to find out more about this part of your project and your lifestyle. CryptoPortugal.io. An interesting morning to be talking about this. But Kjartan, what is this? What can people? What can you tell people about this project?
So Crypto Portugal, it's a crypto service company for people wishing to move to Portugal. Crypto hodlers, crypto investors. We help people to make the move, deal with the tax situation, and if necessary, create legal entities and do individual tax studies, and also to purchase real estate with crypto, because that is possible in this country. So we have lawyers and accountants that can do that. And we collaborate with local crypto exchanges to facilitate large transfers of crypto safely. And we also wish to function as community. So we organize sometimes meetups, like sale trips, where entrepreneurs and investors and crypto geeks can hang out and spend a good time together.
Fantastic. Great news there. So go to CryptoPortugal.io if you want to find out more about that. And this, of course, revive.casa. I will put the link to the project so that people can find out more. And if they're interested in living in this way, there is a stay in touch button so they can presumably join your mailing list on that site, revive.casa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to stay in touch, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
much for joining us this morning. Have a super day, Algarve. I'm sure it's going to, the cloud will pass and that Algarvian sunshine will be upon your head and shoulders there. Have a great day. Thank you for coming and telling us all about it.
Thank you, Carl. Have a good day.
All right. Ciao, bye now. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
And sorry about the dodgy connection. That made it a little bit difficult for us. Ciao. Okay, there you go. Eco-Village in Algarve, revive.casa. That is on the screen now. That was a bit of a dodgy connection, which made it a bit difficult, but we'll see how we get on in these last few minutes of the show. I've got another property to show you from Madeira. And, of course, I think about 500 dad jokes to share with you as well on the screen this morning. So let me scroll back. Let's see where we got to. Revive.casa is the place to go to join the mailing list there, and also for CryptoPortugal.io and not IOU, as I said earlier on this morning. What's that? Carl, thanks for waving your hand. I just read your palm. What did it say, Sarah? That's what I want to know. My goodness, thank you so much for all the comments and questions. We've only got, 15 minutes or so to go. Let's see how many more we can squeeze in, as well as the property listing from Madeira this morning. Man Cavers, I think Man Cavers taking up most of the comments this morning, shouting at each other. Solar Life Portugal. Pete, Rebel Mama to Pete. That's Lake Mead outside of Vegas. Seriously, what did they expect to find when the water level dropped? There's one of those fantastic Gumper comments that's out of context. Bon dia, my friends. Finding it hard to sleep as I booked a one-way ticket to Portugal today. Yay, Marty. Great news. Can I say, says Chris, that I love the shows, the community, the topics, etc. Yeah, it's been quite diverse this morning. Andrew Gilchrist loves talking hydraulics. That took us back to where we left off, I think. And moving update from Matty then, from Amsterdam, as requested by Carl. I have an appointment with my real estate agent today, 12:30. We'll give him the keys to my apartment and discuss what I need to do before he can start the selling. That is a very tangible step, Matty. In a deep, passionate tone, he whispered in her ear, I love it when you talk hydraulics to me, said, no woman ever, I think. Okay, thanks for the moving update, Matty. Okay, Carl, I can't be the only one who ponders this. Carl, does Carl have an assistant, or can he juggle 8 balls at once on his own? I can juggle 8 balls on my own, but sometimes it gets a little bit challenging, as it did this morning. Not because of the balls, but because of the technology. And Matty, I need you over here to give me computer a bit of a tune-up and to make sure my internet connection is good, which I think it is now. I think I might have just had too many things running. It's just one of those things with so many things going on this morning. Still so much stuff to sell from leaving Finland so quickly. So you brought it with you, right, Suze? Who can recommend a market on the Silver Coast for me to set up a table or a blanket? They do happen in Algarve. And they do happen on the front here at San Martino de Porto. I just don't know when. Definitely a mole cricket, IDing that insect from earlier on. Flipping heck, that was some time ago, wasn't it? Yes, and it is a mole cricket. We have done that for Jean. Fantastic. Update part 2 from Matty. I will drive back to Portugal when I have everything done and the real estate agents need to be done. Mostly packing and emptying the place, I guess. Very good. My wife twisted her ankle so badly one day when a mole cricket was on her leg. Yikes. That's a big insect to have landing upon you, and understandable that she might have wanted to run off in a hurry. And sorry to hear that she twisted her ankle doing so. A facto dia from Andrew Gilchrist. We have Armstrong to thank for hydraulics technology. He is famous for making large battleship guns, but developed hydraulic power also. So there you go. Shout out to Armstrong. Has he got any other names, or is he just known as Armstrong now in the engineering world? Asian hornet, that was 2.5 centimeters, that particular creature there, in that strangely beautiful image in the pool there. Thank you very much, Sharon, for that this morning. And let's go back to more of your comments. 2.5 centimeters, crikey. A UK dad joke coming up. Stand by, everybody. His house was the first in the UK to have hydraulic electricity lights. What? That sounds really dangerous, doesn't it? Asian wasps scare the hell out of me, much scarier than grizzly bears, and it isn't even close. Yeah, you can hear them, I think, coming from a long way off, can't you, the Asian hornet or wasp? Worse than honey badgers. Says Jean as well. A lot of fear about the Asian hornet here. Good morning, everyone. Carl, you look tired, but your mood stays amazing. I am a little bit. I am a little bit. It has to be said, but that's because I live such a fun life here on the Silver Coast. Meetup day yesterday. We had a very busy day and a fun day yesterday. And this is my Friday, Nunu, in case you didn't know. I've got a few jobs to do. Got to go out and see a man about a dog. Actually, a 3-piece suite sofa and 2 chairs for my man cave, I think, if I can convince Mrs. M on that. But yeah, lots to do. And then breathing out late tonight. And my weekend begins tomorrow with Philomena on Philomena Friday. Seriously, says Sharon, this one scared me and it was already dead. Okay. Okay, I've got to play this again, haven't I? So that you're suitably warned.
Warning. Warning.
All right, UK dad joke. My wife just threw 6 cricket balls at me. What's up? I asked. It's over, she replied. How's that? Oh my goodness. Yes, you need to have some grasp of cricket, I think, not mole crickets, but cricket the game here. James, hola, bon dia, Gina. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Have you brought the coffee? Have you brought the coffee? Death by winged devils. They are terrifying. So the Asian hornet, more terrifying than grizzlies and honey badgers, we're discovering this morning. Wish I could have been there yesterday at the meetup. We wish you could have been there yesterday as well. Of course, Chris, Asian hornets are scary. We have them in the north. But grizzlies, the only way I will visit Alaska is from a decent-sized boat, and I won't step foot on land. That's how I feel about grizzlies. Yeah, you're not going to win a race, are you, against a grizzly? This is an amazing sea container build that is totally self-sufficient, creates 100 liters of water from the atmosphere a day. Is that, there is an amazing sea container built that is totally self-sufficient. Interesting. Creating. I suppose you get a lot of condensation, don't you? And that's how they managed to capture 100 liters of water there. Bon dia, Carl from Steve Welton. How you doing, Steve? I have fished, says Marty, near bears hundreds of times, as close as 50 feet away. They're great. They just want to eat like us. It's a blessing for me that I've seen them so close up. I don't think that is for Rebel Mama. Good morning, Carl. How you doing, Jason? Great to see you. A year, mate, since we were first at your place. Can you believe that? And great to have a little tour around a few weeks ago as well. Catch that on the gardening Q&A, folks, if that's your thing, if you're a happy homesteader or want to be one. Marty, I'm impressed, says Rebel Mama. I used to be afraid of Californian bears, but it was better once I saw one up close. Cute things, really. Oh, Rebel Mama, my friend and I hiked an hour back to our fly-in camp after dinner with guide outfitters and nearest neighbors. Got back safely, but I thought I saw grizzlies in the shadows at every turn. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you supposed to do if you're confronted by a grizzly bear? I'm sure there's a protocol, which everyone forgets the moment they are confronted by a grizzly bear. And that would have been northern British Columbia near Yukon. You get 5% of the person online says, Raphael's here, everybody, not your average globetrotter. Sounds like an overestimate to me. You might well be right. It's the old iceberg thing, isn't it? You just get that little tip. That you get to see on certain websites. No. Thanks for waving your hand. Just read your poem. What did it say, Sarah? Bon dia, Gumpers. Interesting day today. We have a psychologist visiting our training group to discuss dealing with stress, both in life and competition. Great learning to be had. Yes, and I think you might be distilling some of that for us. Watch out for a new feature for the God Squad. An occasional God Squad inspirational tip from Coach Turner. So let's see what you derive from the psychologist that you and your colleagues are meeting today over there at the Athletics Centre in the UK. Great to have you here, Ian. Good morning to you. And a bon dia, a tourish from Jason as well. Sintra meetup, not official. It's not a meetup. It's a group of expats talking over beers. It's too late now. Expect hundreds of coaches arriving, Gene. Full of expats. Maybe not. Go tidy your room, Andrew. Yes. Yes, Andrew. Bon dia, everyone. Iris is in here as well this morning. Lovely to actually meet some of you yesterday. Thanks for arranging it. My absolute pleasure, Iris. Great to see you yesterday. I'm going to have to try. I mean, it's been pretty scary technologically this morning. I'm more frightened of opening WhatsApp than I am of a grizzly, I think. But look, I just sent Carl a picture I took of me holding a bobblehead as a grizzly bear was 30 feet away. We're going to find out what a bobblehead is in a little while because I am going to open WhatsApp and I'll show you this at the end of the show so it doesn't cause too much trouble. Hopefully he can show it to you. I'll do my best. Mary, I've got 2 dogs. You're welcome to walk them anytime. Both together about 90 kilos of dog on a leash there. My goodness. How did you lose the pups? I think they got old. Sorry, Iris, I didn't see that in time to share with Mary while she was here. I think some of them are pretty ancient and sickly, and they do their best, I think, to give them a good and long life, but sometimes the inevitable happens there. Okay, sorry, but I'm sure you won't deliver to Amsterdam. I'm glad Mary didn't see that. A guy announces the prizes. Okay, Portuguese joke, everybody. I haven't got a jingle for this. A guy announces the prizes for a raffle in his village. First prize, a 3-legged pig. Second prize, a pork leg. Hey, thank you very much, Antonio, for that. Okay, the details are in the chat if you want to catch up with Mary and order some of that delicious Belgian food. Loving the curtains. I think I have an innuendo problem, though. The red makes some... Okay, I shall keep moving on through the comments. I put taxis, bowls outside the van, says Suze. Peter, honestly, what you like. Twice now, went out there to find empty food dish. All good. Is Taxi eating the food, though? Or is it strays and cats and so on? Jimmy had a little bit of a go at some stray cat food this morning before I reprimanded him, the little rascal. And third prize, I think, carrying on with the Portuguese joke here, there is a fresh pigtail. I think you've got to live here in the culture for a little while, probably in central Portugal, to get the humour of that. Another dad joke. My neighbours thought I was in a relationship with Tina Turner as she is moving in, but she was simply the guest. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Honestly, Prof, what have you been taking? We'll have whatever the Prof's having this morning. I think. Hit the like button, says the keeper of the likes, Lycus Maximus, Chris. And so many comments. Bad wins, bad marriages, and homicidal lawyers are coming over from Spain and then ending up in Belgium as a solicitor. Amazing. Incredible today in Portuguese history this morning. Am I the only one who hears the screams and the strangled cries of lawyers in wow. Morning, Matty from Jason there. Carl, show the dog pics. I had enough trouble just having a conversation with Mary and Arus and Kjartan this morning, let alone opening up WhatsApp and sharing doggy pics. Asking for a friend about the dogging spot. Peter! Enough space to knock. Oh yeah, that was the Tomar house. Did you not like the blue and white house in Tomar? We've got another one for you in just a moment in Madeira. Very good, Stephen. There are no capital gains on crypto this week anyway. Yes, very funny. And I was in Lagos on Sunday. Summer has come early. Arus and Kjartan go further to Westminster, Sagres, Raposera, Vila do Bispo. I think Westminster, there might be a predictive type error, right? Portugal definitely feels like home, unless it's a British bar, I suppose, there in Sagres. Portugal definitely feels like home. Click those red shoes together and make it happen. Another dad joke. Thieves broke into a Staples store last night and stole A4 files, folders and dividers. Police believed it's organised crime. Oh, my God. Okay. I may have been frozen, but I'm back with all these dad jokes. Do not open WhatsApp. Oh, my goodness. Your link is frozen and very bitty. I can be frozen and very bitty at times. The dad jokes are flowing freely this morning. Love it, says Michelle. Good morning to you, Michelle. Does cryptocurrency have a balance sheet, a profit and loss statement? Marty, not a fan either. Be sure to follow that like button, folks, from Cindy. Okay, we have had 4 to 5 communities start and then fizzle out. Well, this is the progressive edge of community living, Pete. I understand what you're saying. They start idealistically and end in acrimony, keeps lawyers in a job, though. Yes, at the cutting edge of community life, I think it can go a number of ways, can't it? As somebody who still has the scars from intentional community, I can say that. My friend said he really didn't understand human cloning. I said, well, that makes 2 of us. Hey, my goodness. International sign language response to dad jokes. Yes, the forehead slap or a simple, oh, God, Dad, I have a step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. He's got a book of it. He must have got a book of dad jokes for Christmas, I think, and just whipped it out for us now. I'm afraid for the calendar, its days are numbered. Everyone in capital letters. Dollar cost averaging by little and often is a tip there. Not giving financial advice, just an opinion from the community this morning. Great choice of guests this morning as crypto is certainly in the news. Be interesting to see what you could buy last week compared to this. Okay, is that a drone I hear? No, an Asian hornet. Yeah, you do hear them coming, don't you? And I've seen them in the air, spraying their venom in the air as well, or maybe doing a poo or something like that. But even that is impressive, folks. If the bears are not very hungry or protecting their young, they'd rather have nothing to do with us. I'm much the same. Carl, is your connection dropping like crypto? Crypto gags as well this morning. Amazing. Got woken up at 3 a.m. this morning by the smoke alarm wanting a battery change. Looking for ladders and a 14-volt battery at 3 a.m. was not fun. It's for your own good, though, isn't it? Strangely enough. Cup, glass, bottle. Struggled for 4 days last week. English to Portuguese. Then it clicked. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that means, Chris, but others might. And that's what matters here. Bears are eating taxis' food is one theory. Oh no! Or is it Asian hornets flying away with nuggets of dog food here on the Silver Coast? I don't want to be starting rumors like that. Let's go to this last property then for this morning in Madeira. And we are looking at at least a jacuzzi with a beautiful view. Let me bring it onto the screen for you. Oh, it's been a busy one. You said I look tired, Nuno. I'm even more tired now, mate. After that's a busy show with technological challenges. I hope it didn't disrupt your enjoyment too much. So here it is, Idealista, and moradia independente à venda em São Vicente. This is Madeira, isn't it? We're talking about here. And joy of joys, it's in Portuguese. I'm going to have to click the translate button, folks. Sorry, I can't do right now at 1 minute to 10. I'm not up to doing a simultaneous translation. We're looking at a distinctive villa where the location and unique characteristics make it an excellent investment for, an alojamento local. I can do a bit of Portuguese. Or for those who prefer nature and want to live in a quiet area. It says here on the Idealista listing. Whether in summer or winter. It has 2 floors. Both of our properties this morning, 2-floored, and has a traditional architectural feature or 2. Keeping the original stone walls. On the upper floor, we find a master suite with a large balcony with sea and mountain views with direct access to the jacuzzi. As you can see in the picture there, isn't that great? And on the lower floor, another bedroom, full bathroom, laundry room, and open space kitchen with social areas. Outside, the property offers a garden where you can enjoy the wonderful sunset in a peaceful and pleasant environment. And with the possibility of building a swimming pool, ideal property for those who value a luxurious lifestyle at 410,000 euros, with all the comfort, elegance, and privacy. If you are looking for a house with good areas in a quiet and sunny area, you have an excellent option here. It's a T2. It's just a T2. But let's take a look at the pictures, shall we? Here they are. That lovely jacuzzi there, which always... it's a strange thing, isn't it? The old skin soup jacuzzi, hot tub thing. Look at this. Look at that location there. Fantastic. São Vicente. Beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful and made for luxury and entertaining, isn't it? Look at that. Beautiful, lovely kitchen with an island there where all you lot can eat your 3 shredded wheat and warm up with your dad jokes of a morning before watching the show. Ooh, look at that. Very luxurious bedroom with beautiful views out of the window. Look at that. This is fantastic. Thank you, Marty, for suggesting this one. Very nicely appointed and decorated and dressed for the photo shoot here. The detached house in São Vicente at 410,000. Lovely shower room there. Very good. A wet room or a great big shower area there. Nice use of Madeira in Madeira there. And there, the magnificent jacuzzi to finish with for you and the view over the landscape there. Superb. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, Idealista, via Marty this morning. And I will, of course, put the link in the chat for you just in case you're interested in that or want to send it to somebody else this morning. Just coming after 10 then this morning, we are about to finish. What's this? Ukrainians using DJI drones to drop homemade explosives on Russian troops. Genius, as they film it to see what they are aiming for. We're talking about killing people there, Andrew. Let's not get too carried away with the engineering. They made this statue of me. Seems everyone has one. What's that then? From Jess. Good morning to you, Jess, this morning. Can you imagine if you had all your savings in something that loses half its value in a few months? I think that can apply to fiat currency as well. Can it not? If you at certain times in history. From the Porky Feet and another great show, mate. Cycling to the market for lunch and lashings of Vinha Verde and a hefty cafe con cheirinha. Good for you, mate. That sounds lovely. And Joao F, lovely to get your messages last night, Joao F, pranking me with the thumb over the camera video. Yes, very funny. Hello, all of you Gumpers. Wasn't able to see the show, but missed you people hugely. You can watch it on catch up as anyone can on our YouTube channel. Join me tonight and Anna from Savvy Cat Realty as we talk about buying and renting here in Portugal. There you go. There's the picky for that from 7:30. Premium Plus folks at 9. Hope to see you there, you Premium Plus crew. And I've got a windy video for you now. If you're struggling with wind this morning, spare a thought for James, who was yesterday as well. Might have some other videos here. We've done them all, crickets, haven't we? We've shared Amit's offer. Oh, let's go to some. Oh, and I've got a lovely sunset for you tomorrow. I've got a beautiful sunset video from Phil and Maria's new homestead near Obidos. But yeah, if you're struggling with wind, spare a thought for James. Quite a long video that of a windy Ericeira there. Thumb over the lens on that one too. Could have done with a thumb over the microphone, I think. And just to resolve things completely, whereby I can say I think I brought everything to you that I wanted to bring you this morning, albeit with some technological challenges. Here, final picture on the screen. ACP's guidance to for cyclists and about cyclists on the road. Do not hold the side of a truck. I think we're being told in the left-hand image there. And don't ride 3 abreast. Who doesn't like riding 3 abreast first thing in the morning? You've been amazing. I will see you again tomorrow for some Philomena Friday fun. Feel Good Friday tomorrow. Closing out the week with a lot of fun language and culture with Philomena. So I'll see you then, folks. Have a great day. You've been amazing. Ciao for now.